Over the past few months, I have been getting questions about the Gauntlet game mode and racing in Gauntlet races in Elite League. So you've saved up and gotten yourself a wide selection of S-Class cars to play with, but you are unsure of the specific characteristics of the cars that you have, and thus you are not sure where to place them in your lineup. In this video, I will cover and explain how to better choose which car to use in your Gauntlet lineup according to the specific track, and when and where each car would be most beneficial in each track. The choice of car in your lineup would mostly be determined by the track you are assigned on defense or as a regular challenge. The selection of car would be based on the following categories: acceleration, handling, recovery speed, downforce, drifting/micro drifting, and nitro efficiency. Let's get started. Acceleration. Choosing the right car for the start of your Gauntlet races can be the difference between beating your opponent and setting a strong defense. If you are not already aware, the Bugatti 300 Plus is the current acceleration king of the game and will continue to be so until another S-Class car joins the game and supersedes its acceleration statistic. The 300 Plus is the ideal choice for most tracks, except for some tracks such as Satellite Rush, Escape Velocity, Venice, French Guiana Reverse, Mount Tide, and a few others. I will show an example of the alternate cars that can be used on each of these tracks for the start of the race.
Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
Handling. The second aspect of your Gauntlet lineup is selecting a car with good handling to deal with the twistier track sections. These cars normally fall in the second to third slot of your lineup. Often you may have to use 2 or 3 good handling cars back to back to navigate certain sections of a given track. Here are some clips showing where specific cars are used for certain sections of tracks where their handling stat is crucial for optimizing each corner of the track. Recovery speed. There are three main cars that completely dominate this category, and they can be used interchangeably. These cars are the Koenigsegg Regera, Battista, and the Friday. These cars have very good recovery speeds and insane airspeeds when going off consecutive ramps. Tracks such as Area 51 contain well-known ramp sections that favor these cars, so ensure to use them to get the most advantage out of it. There isn't much more I can say on this topic. It would just be up to you guys to select the best car in your garage for this category. All three cars that I mentioned here are all great options, so don't feel discouraged if you are unable to get one of these cars that you see everyone else using in their lineups. Remember, skill is most important, even if your opponent is using the best cars. You may even be able to improve on sections of the track that they themselves have made mistakes on. Downforce. This topic is tricky to explain, but I will do my best. Essentially, what this means is that downforce is entirely determined by the game physics that is applied to various cars in the game. Some cars naturally feel more responsive when you steer or microdrift, but that isn't what I'm talking about this time. Rather, what most players don't know is that certain cars are designed to fly off ramps lower than others. I'll explain this further using 3 examples. There are 4 tracks that matter in this game most, and that would be Market Square Maps, Upward Spiral Variation, Barcelona Reverse, Citadel Clash, and Satellite Rush. If I left out on any other maps, let me know. I will show what I think to be is most ideal car to use for these tracks that I have mentioned as an example.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now. I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone. That's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and die.
Drifting/micro drifting. Each car in the game has a different drift radius and a different feel to the drift. Some may feel sharp, others may feel heavy, and some may even feel sluggish. Some of the best Gauntlet drift cars are the ones that feel quick, nimble, responsive, and sharp. Depending on which curves you're taking, I'd suggest either a car that can micro drift really well or a car that can long drift really well. This may all depend, however, on what comes after the curve you are taking. For example, if there are a series of turns that lead to a straight section or a section with not many technical parts to it, then you'd use a car that would have the highest drift speed, which the only car that has that unmatched speed would really just be the Jesko. If the corners you drift are sharp and sequential, then pick a car that has a sharp drift radius, such as a Friday or the Centenario. This can be tricky to explain fully because there are exceptions. In Iceland, there are many curves that are sequential, but it comes up after the beginning of the race, which in that case you'd want a fast accelerating car that you'd have to begin with in your defense or a challenge. Each track is different, so these tips will vary from track to track, but Best advice I can give prior to doing your defense or challenging any other racers: check other YouTubers to see how they executed their lap and make note of each car they used and what they used it for. Nitro efficiency. On tracks with very long straights and little jumps, turns, or any other means of gaining nitro, you'll need to prioritize using cars with very good nitro efficiency. Cars such as the Bugattis, Centenario, Battista, Regera, Cyan, and the McLaren Senna all have good nitro efficiency, and you should consider having a few of those somewhere in your lineup to aid in maintaining high nitro in your nitro bar. In tracks such as French Guiana, Azure Coast, Rapido Park, Iceland, and most Area 51 maps, having these cars in your lineup will make a huge difference and will be more forgiving if you're like me and enjoy triple tapping most of the time. Putting it all together. Now it's time to take all the tips and advice that I have given and apply them to your Gauntlet laps. For a more hands-on example, I will be analyzing 5 Gauntlet laps, and for every car that is chosen for a specific section of that track, I will explain why that car was chosen and the specific benefits of why it was chosen. Starting with Azure Coast, the first car is a Bugatti 300 as it has fast acceleration and very good nitro efficiency. The second car in the lineup is the Bugatti La Fortune. It has good nitro efficiency, and in this section here, it gets good airtime, which builds good speed boost. The Battista is another option for that section as well. Just go in third, it has very high drift speed and it takes corners very well. I use the Bugatti Bolide for this section here as it does a very good job at hugging that inner corner and maintaining high speed on single nitro. Other cars can achieve the same thing, but I prefer using this one as it's more comfortable for me. The last car here doesn't matter all that much, but ensure it has decent handling. In Satellite Rush, for this track, there are many cars you can start with, but my favorite is the Bugatti Bolide. It handles the zero gravity mechanic well in drifts and is easier to handle in the first few corners. Alternatively, you could use the Friday or the 300 Plus or the X2. For the second section, the best car to use is the Ultima. I do not have it, so the FXXK is my next best alternative. I could have also used the X2 or Senna, but it really comes down to personal preference and whether or not you're tremendously concerned about shaving off thousands of seconds of difference off your personal best lap time. I chose the Senna for this part because it's easy for the corner and it drifts very smoothly. If done well, you can drift very close to that inner wall, which would decrease your overall lap time. Timing is crucial here though. Just go at the end here due to the nitro and the handling. The car you end off with here doesn't really matter. Avalanche Valley. Starting with the Bolide, good acceleration, handles those tight turns with ease. You could also use a Jesco Absolute. The FXXK next for me as it seems to come off the barrel very smooth and handles very well for this section. That and I really just like using the FXXK. Jesco in third as it handles well this turn and has a very high speed off the landing and into the dirt section. The Battista can be substituted for the Regera. The barrel was high, I'll admit, but which really hurt my lap time, but the Battista has very high recovery speed, which is why I chose it for this section of the map. This lap was done by OG Pro Joel, and it's an asteroid chase. He starts with X2, it has good acceleration and handles very well in the descending spiral, especially with the micro drifts. Just go in second place for the drift speed. Alternatively here, you could use the Senna as it goes off that lower ramp with a little less effort. Battista here in third for the nitro efficiency, and the MP31 is an excellent choice for this part as the micro drift of this car can take the entire corner with ease and maximize the cornering speed. Overall an excellent lap, well done. This lap here is a Market Square by Motion Ali. He starts off here with the Bugatti 300 Plus. Good acceleration and it works well for the train jump. Here he uses a Ferrari FXXK, overall just handles well and has good physics for the stunt he does with the corner. An alternative could be the Jesco, Battista, Absolute. There really isn't any best car for that section, but it just comes down to what feels best for you. The upward spiral is taken with cars with a sharp drift radius. The Friday is an excellent choice here. Alternatives could be the Koenigsegg 1-1, Centenario, or the McLaren Senna. Guys, I really hope this has helped you. After watching this, I'd assume that you could better choose which car that it is you would best put in your lineups, or simply watch other people to see what they used. I realize that even though the game is getting older and arguably getting worse due to all the new changes, there are still people out there that have an interest in progressing through the game and truly want to improve and get better with their skills and subsequently their defense in their Gauntlet laps. A very good defense is a solid foundation for an aggressive offense. As always, if you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you and thank you for watching, and I hope you've learned something. As always, I love you, big up on yourself, and see you guys in the next video.
I don't need